Hi, and welcome to another stream of Star Citizen. We're on the 4.0.1 PTU environment, running patch 9.4.88811. And we're just about to log in. I'm going to load up our character. This is a new patch that was released, let me see, about 10 hours ago. So there's a few fixes, more information in the patch notes, which is linked in the description if you want to take a look at that. Let's load up our normal character, and we're going to see if we can change his eye color. Eye color's still not changing. Alright. But that doesn't matter because it'll get fixed eventually, I'm sure. It was possible to, going to skip the tutorial, it was possible to change the appearance of your character, I think between Christmas and New Year, some time between then and now it's not been possible, so whatever. We'll confirm that Lawville, we're on the USA. I've had a quick look at the patch notes, but I've got to read through them thoroughly. All the fixes I've looked at don't relate to anything that we'll be getting involved in. Mostly pyro stuff, to be honest. But hey ho, you know, this is how it goes. I'm sure CIG will get round to it eventually, but eventually will not be soon. Of course, we're on the weekend now, so don't expect any fixes to be forthcoming. We haven't reset the PTU account today, so we should still have all the stuff that we had from yesterday. I say should. We'll find out when we log in. So we're going to be logging into US 1B030. Probably end up in our hangar without any sounds, but that's par for the course. We'll get sounds back once we enter our ship.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Please visit us again.
Engines offline.
just getting all the stuff gear sorted out. I'm taking some guns with me that I don't necessarily need. I might sort of play around today, do a bit of freelancing. Oh, come on, put that fucking thing on. Why won't it put it on? Alright. That one then. No, it's not having it, is it? Oh, what the fuck is going on here? Come out of that. So I've got no pending delays, but I can't equip. It's just not having any of it. Sort that. It's just taking it off as soon as I try and put it on. It's just taking it off. And that's staying on. So is that. Alright. I don't know what to make of that. I really don't. It's just weird. We'll try and get the last suit of armor on our person. I don't know how successful that's going to be, but it's not there anymore. That's probably why then. It was a ghost set. Yeah, okay. So I might as well get dressed. With what I normally get dressed up in. Stone face there. That should have the scope on it. It has. Esteban. Yeah, okay. I think we're good.
Engines online. Takeoff complete. Landing gear raised.
Actually, we'll turn around in here so we're facing the right direction when we come out of the hangar. Excuse me.
Shields offline.
Some weird sounds going on, and I don't know why, but I'm just going to roll with it.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now on.
Because I don't really know why, but, you know, ripple effect and all that.
Shields online.
Not really a fan of making excuses. And the only viable excuse I can stomach. Like, what is this? What is this noise going on? It doesn't make sense. But the only viable excuse I can stomach from CIG is that we're not doing good enough. You know, we're not producing results. We need to do better. That's the only thing I would agree with. And yes, it takes time, but not forever. There comes a point where you've got to say, it's not working, we need to rethink this. So where's our hangar going to be? Here.
Landing gear deployed.
Whichever way it wants to go. Get there eventually. If we don't hit,
Landing complete.
if we don't hit the infrastructure beforehand,
Engines offline.
fine. So, gonna open that up, and where's that? There it is. I'll take that, and then anything we can put in here, we will do. To get it in. Goddamn hate doing this. Really hate doing this. It's such a waste of fucking time. Being able to pseudo transfer stuff is much preferable. Got arms, we ain't got arms, have we? Right. What else can we take in here? Oh, we can take all of this, I should imagine. Anything else left now? What we got? Those. Alright, okay. Yeah. Alright. We are getting faster at this because we're getting more familiar with it, so... got no other fucking choice, have we? Put up with this shit. Right, so that's everything out. I'm guessing it's everything out anyway. Yeah, it is. Okay. So we can risk, and I say risk, we're going to risk going up the elevator now, and where's our Esteban? There it is. Stoneface. Okay, should have the scope on it. It has. Right. Okay. See if the elevators are working. Elevator's called. And this ship is auto stored again. Must be a intended function. Getting rid of your ship into the old lobby. Thanks for bumping into me, mate. That's very kind of you. Okay. Change our spawn point while we're here. But we might as well save some time. We'll buy 36 of these. No, I always forget. Don't I? No, I need 12 more.
Thank you for visiting Kelto RX. Feel better, save more.
Right. Now I'm happy. One of them. And
Just a friendly reminder.
regeneration. Transfer imprint. Confirm. Still hasn't updated, so if we come out and go back in, it's going to say Kelto RX Clinic. There it is. So that's our new spawn point.
With the family of patient Beth.
Go cargo center first. If we stand here, we should be able to get all of these. Come on, pick this one up. That's it. Okay. Is it going to be a turtle? I doubt it, but... I'll check. Oh yeah, there's a turtle, so... Store it. How do you get a... Can you play that machine? No. Okay. Can't pick anything else up, can you? You can sit down on these, but you can't pick anything else up. Right. I'm surprised that nobody's picked the turtle up yet, but never mind. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. It feels good, it's flowing, it's FPS wasn't dropping like it did yesterday when we hit the cargo bay, and 38 of them. Should we get... Yeah, we'll buy 3 more of these. Okay. just in case we get blown up or destroyed or whatever. It saves us time fucking around in future. Right. I know what that is. Don't worry about that. So, what we've got now is... we need to dump these. Get 2 of these. Oh. Right, okay. We're gonna have a drink here, but we're gonna, because I picked a bottle of cruise up, I bought one less. And I'm gonna do the infinite cruise thing. Basically, just have one in your hand and drink it. And then carry one into your hand while you're holding an empty one. Like I am now. I've got an empty one in my hand. Just carry, right click and carry another cruise, which puts the empty one in your backpack. Close your inventory, drink it, rinse and repeat. And it'll keep filling your empty bottle up. For some reason, the empty one in your backpack turns into a full one and it stacks it. And you keep on doing that, and that's the infinite cruise. You only need a few bottles of cruise, so remember to close it and open it each time, and there you go, you've still got 3 bottles of cruise. I did have 2 full ones, 1 empty one, but I turned the empty one into a full one just by doing that. And it's a bug, it's a glitch, it's a hack if you like. Sort of saw something on the floor then, but never mind. Elevator called. Go to the Galleria.
That is true, unforgettable. Whether you're just looking to spend the day lamp hopping with a stick
I don't know why you don't keep cruise and ammo and all that. It's weird that you don't. We'll buy 36, buy 38 of these. Yeah. 20k. 6 of them. 24 of these. And we should buy 32 of those actually. Right. Oh shit, we need to sell stuff. Personal weapons. We'll sell all of these. All right, that's P4 sorted out. What about the Carners? We got anything else? I don't think we brought much more. We're going to keep the suppressors. FS9s we'll keep, which is, yeah. Codes we'll keep. Oh, we'll sell the. We'll sell these. I think we've only got one of these, haven't we? We'll have to check, yeah. 720 just for a fucking scope that you took off a gun. We're gonna keep all that. Yeah, definitely. Oh shit, hang on. Before I forget. 2 times. I want... I'll buy, what, 5 of these. Right, okay. I don't think I've forgotten anything, but we'll see. Can I pick that up?
With shuttles arriving daily, what are you waiting for? Come, visit Orison, the city in
Nope.
the clouds.
I don't know what it is anyway, it's just a tablet on the floor. Put some of this on. Drag them into there. 2 more of these. And... Oh. Now what have I got here? Why have I got a fucking corded pistol on me when I want my Esteban? Where's the scopes I just bought? That on there. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's... Put it in my hand. So is that on my gun now? Yes, it is. Right, okay. So I still need suppressors. I wouldn't mind picking up a P4 Night Stalker as well. Got 5 already, so get 7. 7 Tacit 1 suppressors and sort of 12, 10, I don't know, I'll find out when I get there. Hot NPC, hello baby. She's so gorgeous. She looks stoned all the time, which I think adds to a physical appeal.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
So, retrieve
Vehicle
that.
selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has
Small
placed
hangar. Won't take us to our hangar. this one will. It's whoever calls the elevator. So somebody else called the elevator, and that was destined for somebody else's hangar. Where's my fucking ship? Fuck's sake.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Your vehicle has been delivered to
So now I've got to wait for this. Have I got everything? Yeah, got my tractor beam. I've got my gun. Yeah. I'm all kitted out. Yep. But I don't know why those doors open and close like that. It's just a complete fucking waste of time. So we'll see if the quantum fuel works today. The gauges, I mean.
Aerospace. All systems online. Shields offline. Landing gear raised.
So I'm going to be going to Crew L5, which is going to be somewhere over here. Right, let's have a see, where are we? There we go.
Quantum drive is now on.
At least the sounds are fixed once you get on your ship.
Landing complete. Engines offline.
What? Hi, thanks for coming in. Hi, welcome to the store. Hi. Let me know if there's anything I can... Hi. Thanks for coming in. Hi. Welcome to the store. Hi. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Your vehicle, please visit us.
Oh, great. So, we're going to have to wait until this server error ends. And we don't know how long it's going to take. So we'll just roll with it. Yeah. I've never ever been in an elevator when there's been a server error before, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Whether the elevator will stay where it is or reset itself and dump me out. I don't know. I can't do anything in the server error. I can bring up the I can bring up the main menu and the terminal, but can I? Yeah, and bring that up. So server recovery report 1. BWin is dog shit. FPS is normal. Server FPS is where's server FPS? It's about half of what it should be. But I don't rightly know what to expect. I'm kind of interested to find out. Bear with me. So, what are we looking at? We're looking at, well, either it's going to let us open the doors and leave, or it's going to dump us out into space, or I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, interesting to see this trespassing on private property. And I've seen that before, weeks ago, that I thought CIG had cured that one, but that one's come back. Do 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 do. I've noticed as well some people can type and chat during the server error. I've never been able to do that. Well, maybe once I was able to do it, but I don't know why, because it hasn't happened since. And yet, when I've got chat enabled, global chat up and visible, you can see people chatting throughout the server error. But even when I've got global chat up, I can't type in it. So yeah, just sitting around now waiting for this server error to finish. It's gonna be a first, but it's also going to be interesting to see exactly what happens. And that's not to say it's going to be the same forevermore. CIG could change it, which they probably will. God knows they change everything that doesn't need changing, just for the sake of changing it. But yeah, apologies for this. Nothing I can do about it. But we can only sit here and wait. At least we're not getting kicked out or crashing the desktop or anything like that, which is just a time waster, really. I remember when we were testing this in aUEC, and I think we had 4 servers running, and I was on the server that was in a perpetual loop of server error, and everybody else was recovering from it, and I had to be on the server that never recovered. I sat there for about an hour and a half or 2 hours or something. It was not great. Fooled myself into thinking that it's going to be useful data for CIG, but I'm just telling myself that to make myself feel better, because it's not true. Let's face it. Doesn't matter if you've got 1 million users on the server or 5 users on the server, a perpetual server error. What information are you going to collect from it when it's in a perpetual server error loop? Maybe find out why it's in a loop and why the other 3 servers weren't. That's the only thing you're going to discover. And we were told, no, stick with it. Stick with it until the server error ends. It never did. The one thing that really bugs me as well, and I can't, for the life in me, I can't work this one out, is that CIG refused to manually reboot servers that are running in error. Say, no, it'll go down on its own and spin back up. And call me old school, I definitely know I'm old school. But when you've got a machine, a system, a server, computer, whatever, that's running with problems that can't be fixed on the fly, you do the Microsoft thing and reboot the fucker. You know, let it pick up from where it left off, or even restart all the services and applications, interfaces. But CIG seem to have this policy of never rebooting servers, and they're all about player experience. You know, we don't want to ruin the player. You ruin the player experience by keeping servers up that aren't working properly. Let me tell you, from being a player, a backer, if you're that concerned about player experience, you'd be interested in solving the problems that are causing people not to have a good experience. It's all rhetoric at the end of the day. We know what we're involved in, and you know, it's our choice to get involved and put more money into the project. You know, nobody can say, "Oh, no, you shouldn't spend your money on this. It's a waste of time." Well, if that's your opinion, don't spend your money on it and don't waste your time on it. I love the idea of Star Citizen. The idea is fantastic. You know, it's like 100 other games that I've played, but more involved. And I can't say it's more enjoyable than some of the other games I've played. It's just different, and it looks so amazing. Everything looks gorgeous. It's just that not a lot of things fucking work as intended or designed. And CIG do get a lot of flack. You know, they get a lot of criticism for doing what they do in the way that they do it. And I know the letter from the chairman a few weeks ago said, oh no, we're going to do things differently now. It may not seem like we're going to do it, but we are going to do it, kind of thing. And nothing's changed. You know, they're still rolling out patches with problems in them. One thing that I do agree with in that letter from the chairman is that they said if everything was working better, then a lot more people would be a lot more interested and spending a lot more money. And yeah, that's true. That is very true. So, swings and roundabouts in that respect. If it was absolutely fantastic, I think there would be a lot more people taking part, spending money, and furthering the project. Because it can't go on like it has been for the past 13 years. It can't go on for another 13 years like that. You know, people are just going to lose trust, lose faith, lose interest, and go off and do other things. Some people aren't. Some people are just going to stick with it because they've invested so much time and effort and finances into this. They can't bear to think that it's not a waste of time. I am wondering, though, how long this server ever is going to be. People have warned me not to quit or log out during the server error, or else you end up with a foobar account. You know, unstored whatever, unstored character or whatever it is. A lot of people have said that they logged out during or they quit during the server error, Alt F4 or whatever. I even got told, don't Alt F4 because it'll unstore your account. And one guy did it and ended up not being able to log back in, and I think it was Zolarix who said, yeah, the authentication server's not seen your account, I'll have to ask somebody to look into this. I'm thinking, what the fuck? If the authentication server doesn't recognise you've got an account, what chances have you got of logging in? None. And how does that happen? Yeah. I mean, all these systems that CIG have got running, they need to work together. And I still maintain, not that I've got any evidence or proof, but I still maintain it's a database problem. They're using the wrong databases. I mean, graph databases should be able to handle millions of transactions a second, but it just takes so much maintenance. You know, you've got to have a team of people working on these constantly. And then the question is that going to be perpetually? Is there ever going to be a time when they don't need to work on the databases and maintain them? I would seriously think about using something that just works. You know, whether that be MySQL or something similar. It doesn't make sense to struggle on for so long with something that clearly isn't working. You know, the premise is that you'll get there eventually, but the question is when, and is it really possible, or are you just living in hope? Oh, come on, this fucking server error is taking forever. I was once stuck for 20 minutes, no, 18 minutes, I remember it exactly. And I said to a friend of mine, Chris, I said, how long do server errors usually take before you end up getting frustrated and quitting? Chris said, well, as long as it takes. I said, well, I've been stuck now for 18 minutes. And he said, 18 minutes, I'd just quit out and try again and hope that I'm lucky. And the moment he said that, a fucking server error ended. There's another guy, a week ago or maybe 10 days ago, and he said, I've been stuck on a server error for 40 minutes. And I actually said to him, I'd wait it out. I really would. You know, given the problems that could happen if you're unlucky, better to wait it out. I think it was it just under or just over an hour? He came back sometime later and said, oh yeah, it's fixed itself now. I was just about to quit. But it sure is a waste of time and boring just to sit here to wait for the server error to... So I could have logged out and logged back in 5 or 10 times in this time. Well, maybe 2 or 3 times, given the length of time it's taken to fucking log in today. But this 4.0.1 patch, it's not filling me with confidence. It's not making me think, oh yeah, things are getting better. I think it was Space Tomato that said on one of his videos, 2025 would be a make or break for CIG. And I'm thinking, for the most part, they'll just come up with something to keep everybody on board and appease them and find new ways of getting them to spend more money. I'm quite negative and pessimistic when it comes to software development failure. Because there's always more than one way of doing something. You just got to make it possible. Nothing to do except sit here and wait. I don't know how long we've been here. I didn't make a note of what the time was. We have had a little message saying Exarga left Pisces expedition, blah blah blah. But apart from that, it's been same screen. Force detaching entity attachment. Pisces expedition. Reusing channel for whatever chat service, no endpoint. DNS. It's just gobbledygook to me as half of this stuff. Or should I say 99% of this stuff. Question is, stuff we've just bought, is it going to be there when the server recovers, if it recovers? I'm going to see what they're talking about on Spectrum. Bum bum bum. Do do do. Dee dee. Just reading some of the comments from the patch notes. And just Kazuma says, given how poor the correlation between patch note and reality in the game is this truly confirmed to be working? Reply, it's kind of working, but still glitchy. Right, okay, so it's not working then. Sadly, hauling is still not fixed, and they've quoted 3 fixes. Hauling's still not fixed. Freight elevators still not fixed. Why do they say they've fixed stuff when they haven't? I mean, clearly the sounds worked when we logged into the hangar. As soon as we accessed our Moby class, the sounds disappeared and came back when we got on our ship. Each time the sounds have not been working, the fix was to board our ship and then the sounds worked again. There's a lot of fanboys in these comments. I'm Sal 2 on Lyria. The freight elevators have been stuck transferring for over a week. We fixed it. I mean, really fixed it, you know. We fixed it so it doesn't fucking work. Just seem to be going round in circles sometimes with these problems. And yeah, I don't know. Have I ever had a problem that I couldn't fix? Yes, loads of times. What did I do about it? I fucking scrapped whatever process I was using and rewrote it in doing it another way. So CIG are tied to the processes and tools that they're using. Rewriting everything to make it work better, flawlessly, would probably be too monumental a task to even consider. So rather than scrub it and start over, they try and fix things and bring about this ripple effect, he says in fucking air commas, air quotes, whatever. Latest problem I dealt with was on Linux was with the fact that multi-disk and device management, the MDA DM tool, had been deprecated and removed. And that was the main fucking way in which I mounted partitions and used them as virtual disks. So I had to find another way of doing that. And I looked at various possibilities and, what do they call it? Oh God, there's that. He was a scientist. Was he Austrian? And he basically said, if you've got two problems, if you've got a problem with two solutions, go for the easiest one. Was it the aUEC principle or something like that? I'll have to look it up. So yeah, if you've got a problem that you can't solve, then go for the easiest solution. Or the easiest solution is the preferred one. And yeah, I'm a great believer of that. So I looked at loads of different ways of doing it, and I ended up using K-Part-X, which is another virtual disk tool. And I used it because the structure of it and the options made more sense to me than anything else. So out with MDADM and in with K-Part-X, and it works beautiful. Works absolutely perfect. MDADM's no longer supported. It hasn't been for 2 years, but it's just worked. And K-Part-X is very much supported and has more options and configurations and all kinds of stuff. But I just like to keep it simple. Building kernels and compiling modules and bootloaders and firmware. Yeah, it's pretty much run-of-the-mill stuff to get embedded systems working. Embedded systems being like, well, not just ARM architecture, but you get Intel architecture now that's embedded. And embedded basically means everything's on the circuit board. You've got nothing like RAM or processors or anything else to unplug and plug in. The only thing you plug in is peripherals, keyboards, mice, displays, that kind of thing, speakers. Everything you need to connect them is on the circuit board, main board, motherboard, whatever you want to call it. But then it depends who you talk to as to what an embedded system is. Some people will call it an embedded system when you plug in your own processor onto the board. It's not an embedded system if you plugging things in like that. A good example of an embedded system is like a Rock Pro or a Raspberry Pi, which are both ARM-based. But, God, what's that Intel thing called? Intel have made their own credit card-sized computer now, and I forget the name of it. But that's also an embedded system because everything's on the board itself. How fucking long is this going to take? How long am I going to be sat here watching this shit before it ends? And to be honest, this was a damn good server. You know, there was no dip in FPS, there was no lag, no latency to speak of, and then just server error. But it's must be coming up to the 25-minute mark now. I think it's now 8:15 a.m. and I think this server errored around 7:50-ish, something like that. God. But it doesn't half make for a boring fucking stream. ZZR11 says worst 4 patch for me so far by a long way. Bug ridden and totally unplayable. Do better CIG, or is this now the level? Unplayable shit. Random power crap going on, cutting engines, crashed into the surface of a planet because of those glitches, no dead body whatsoever, and the 2x2 SCU storage boxes in the back also disappeared. We've seen that. Lawville, where I spawned, was a comedy of bugs, train taking trips way off the rails, in a hangar queue 7 times and the hangar never opened. At one point my ship ceased for no reason. What is this utter shit? Seriously, do better. Now there's a lot of people not only with that same opinion but voicing their opinion, and it's showing. You know, it's evident in the number of people saying that and writing it that CIG are losing a lot of people to lack of confidence and faith in what they're doing. And the longer it goes on, the more people will feel that way. You know, it seems to have gone from... I'm going back to sort of 3.17 when... Yeah, we were crashing every 30 fucking minutes because the servers couldn't take the throughput. And it's 3.17 is what, 3 years ago? And we've gone from something that's quite playable, although it crashed, to something that's playable but fraught with so many problems. It's, to some people, it's unplayable. And that is another thing. Everybody's experience is different. You know, you would think with the same software, if everybody had the same problems and encountered and experienced the same issues, then it would be similar, if not the same, across the board. But it's not. You know, I've had friends say to me, well, it's working for me. I can't understand why it's not working for you. I've had that said so many times, I now laugh every time somebody says that. It's now a joke. I don't know why you say it's not working. Must be in your head, as fucking Waffle Insanity once said to me. Must be all in your head. And I said, well, that and on top of I fucking streamed it, it's not just in my head. It's just a joke, these fucking people. Purporting that I'm making it up. Yeah, right. Server error, please wait. Yeah, people often say anything just for the sake of saying something. You know how the saying goes, a wise man has something to say. Fools have to say something. And when somebody comes up and says, this has happened, the last thing I will ever say is, well, it's never happened to me, so you must be making it up. Or you must have done something to cause it. Because my experience with Star Citizen is anything can happen for little or no reason. but it is trying on the patience as this. It is very demanding. All I want to do is spend a couple of hours, few hours streaming, seeing what's what, testing things, and I don't want to be sat here for any length of time waiting for a fucking server error to end. You know, this is where, if I had a system like this, or if CIG asked my opinion about what they should do, I would say, take snapshots every 5 fucking minutes of the server, and if it goes into a state of confusion and not working as it should, fucking kill it and reload the last snapshot. There's going to be a lot of people who miss out or are impacted by something like that, but if you're worried about player experience, why are you having them sat here for fucking an unknown length of time waiting for a server error to fix itself? Because this is the worst player experience possible, apart from not being able to log in. Because you can't do anything, you just got to wait for whatever system they've designed to follow itself through to completion. So if 7:50 a.m. was when the server went into error, we're now 30 minutes past that. So we'll be sat here for 30 minutes doing fuck all. Still we wait. I'll go back to Spectrum. Will we lose consumables and have to reset our home location when this patch goes live? They're playing a game. They are not testing, they're playing a game. The PTU is for testing. Well, it's all for testing, you know, and if anybody argues about it, the fallback excuse is it's an alpha, and I fucking hate that as well. You know, I hate people telling me it's an alpha, you forget that. Well, yes, it is an alpha, but given that CIG are promoting it as a game that you can play now and spend money on buying ships and stuff, it's more than just an alpha. I think the alpha excuse is there because they haven't got everything together yet. So they need a reason to offer to people to combat the frustration and quieten them down. As part of the Elite Dangerous Alpha, and that was months, 3 months or 4 months of testing. Or it might have been 6 months. But the beta phase, once Frontier Developments had got their engine up and running, we went into the beta phase. Then all the knobheads joined, and it just went downhill from there, with fucking cheating and all kinds of stuff going on. Mind you, there were still people cheating in the alpha. Once they found out that Elite Dangerous was susceptible to the game engine, they all uploaded the fucking, because there was no monitoring for it or anything, so, you know, they were beefing up the guns and killing your shit with one shot and all this kind of carry on, shooting you from fucking 18 light years away and stuff. And Frontier Developments was, oh no, that's normal gameplay. Fucking yeah, right. And then it was released. I mean, I did I get to the, yeah, I got into the gamma phase. about a week into the gamma phase, and then Frontier, they tried getting rid of the development council, which people had paid fucking heavily to get into. You know, after the Kickstarter, we all found out that Elite Dangerous had its own private financiers and backers, so it didn't really need a Kickstarter. But Frontier promoted the Kickstarter like it was the only fucking reason they'd go ahead with it if the Kickstarter succeeded. To the tune of about $2.5 million. And then we found out that it already had financial backing to the tune of $7 million. So what the fuck did we need the Kickstarter for? That didn't impress me. And then they were asking people to donate based on tiered levels. And I forget how much the development council was, but I thought, fuck that, I'm not getting involved in the development council. But they did do some good stuff. Frontier wanted to make space travel, excuse me, they wanted space travel only to be to points of interest. They didn't want free fly. And the development council said, no, that is not how Elite is been and should be. You know, it should be free fly. Wherever you want to go, you should be able to go. So Frontier reneged on that and said, okay, you'll get what you want. Or else it would have just been a point of interest thing. You know, you go to a system and you can only go to certain places that they want people to go to. But Elite is all about exploration. You know, and you go to a planet nobody's ever been to before and look around and see what there is. And yeah, people want to do that. And even I did that on a few systems. Totally fucking useless systems with nothing in them but a star and planets and moons. Went around and surveyed them. By the time I got back and handed all the data in, I got fucking elite status for exploration. I'm like, what the fuck? Maybe half a dozen systems or something like that. The reason I gave, I'm just sick of Frontier moving the goalposts, and that's the reason I gave up playing Elite Dangerous. Just completely lost faith and confidence in the developers. And the amount of dickheads in the game was unreal. I remember the first time I logged in, it was about, into the actual game, it was about 2018. And I hadn't touched it for 4 years. And I logged in and immediately somebody tried fucking blowing me up. And I'd been in the game less than 30 seconds. I'd even forgotten half the controls for my ship. And somebody, this was in the Founders system as well. Whatever it's called. Some fucking name that I can never remember because it's bullshit. But somebody paid $5,000 for that privilege to name the Founders system. I'm going to look it up actually while I'm waiting for the server error to fucking end. Shinrar to Desra. And apparently the guy that named it, it's a mix of his children's names. Shinrar to Desra. I don't know what kind of fucking names his children have got, but yeah. Not easy to remember. I'd have just called it something like fucking Foundation or something and left it at that. But yeah, a lot of had a lot of fun on Elite over the years, since the 80s, in fact. And I played Frontier Elite 2 and Frontier First Encounters. Did all that. And then when Elite Dangerous came along, I'm thinking, yes, brilliant. And of course, with it being multiplayer, you got all the dickheads that just wanted to fucking blow you out of the sky. Cried like fuck when it happened to them, but it's okay when they do it to you, kind of thing. I suppose that's a problem, isn't it? You can't please everyone. You can't expect everybody to be the same. You know, playing a computer game, a multiplayer game, it's not like being in the army where you agree to abide by certain rules and regulations and act appropriately. It's just a free-for-all. And if you're a dickhead, you'll just be a dickhead. If you're a dickhead in real life or not, it doesn't matter, because you can just be a dickhead in game without any repercussions. And that just attracts other dickheads to join up and be the same as you and do the same as you. I suppose that's mainly why I don't join in with many people when I'm playing Star Citizen. Maybe when it gets sorted out, I don't even think I'll be alive at that time, to be honest. Maybe it'll be different, but I doubt it. And EVE Online had a really good idea with Concord. Concord was the like the celestial police, and if you committed a crime, they would fucking turn up and sort you out. And 9 times out of 10, unless you could get out of where you were really quickly, you were stuffed, because Concord would destroy you. You know, very powerful ships, and they were very quick in turning up. But some people had fast ships that they could just go away, get somewhere, and keep on going until they got to a system where there was no Concord, low sec, and then they were safe. So yeah, it might be an idea to include something like that, where you've got a lot of griefers and trolls. And I thought Concord were great. You know, whenever I got blown up by them, I just used to think, fuck it, you know. I did the crime, I paid the price. How much fucking longer is this going to be? I've been streaming now for nearly 2 hours, and 45 minutes, as well, more than 45 minutes. Well, no, about 45 minutes. I've been stuck on a server error. But this is a good example of what happens in Star Citizen right now. And like I say, this patch came out about 12 hours ago. 10, 12 hours ago, and this is the state of it. I'm running out of patience. I've run out of patience, to be honest. But I don't want to risk fucking my account up by quitting. I will get to that. If this server ever goes on for an hour, I'll be seriously considering logging out, quitting, and not coming back to it. Yeah. Dear. B-Win is still rock bottom. And component updates is, you know, weird. I'm wondering how long it's going to be like this until it sorts itself out. If it sorts itself out, I'm not very hopeful of that. I've been on servers before where the server error pops up every few minutes and it lasts a minute or so, or 2 minutes. But at least I had an opportunity to log out in between server errors. But I'm not happy at just sitting here waiting for something to happen that seemingly isn't expedient in itself. It's another complete fucking massive waste of time. And I don't care what data CIG are getting from this. I'm not convinced that this is useful for any other purpose, and well, no, I'm still trying to think of what useful purpose this might be. I could have fucking logged out and logged back in a dozen times by now. So it doesn't save me any time. Just fucking, only reason I'm sat here waiting for it to end is to see what happens because I'm stuck in an elevator and I don't want to wreck my account by quitting. And this is the kind of shit you expect in like the first 2 months of development, not after 13 years. The fuck is going on at CIG? Who the fuck thinks this is a great idea? And if this is what they're working towards and developing, why has it been like this way for a year or more? I mean, it's well over a year since we first tested the server error implementation. It's as if they have only like 2 or 3 people working on it. I'm just not buying it. I'm getting more annoyed and fucking frustrated and pissed off by the minute. For fuck's sake. If I was getting paid for this, just imagine what my boss would be saying. You've been fucking sat there for more than 45 minutes doing nothing. Why am I paying you? Yeah. Well, let me be on the other end of that. Why am I paying CIG? Why? Yeah, good question. Over 50 minutes now. You know, CIG could argue, they could say, well, it's still in development, we're still working on it. You know, it's not complete, that's why it's not working properly, because we haven't completed what we set out to do with this particular element of the game software. I do think there is an element of too many eggs in one basket. And too many hens laying the fucking eggs. Too many people spending too much money on a company that's, you know, it's financed by backers, and they've got massive, huge fucking resources. Just not getting there. They're just not making things possible. If you were just to, what we've got now, if you were just to design something like this, it wouldn't take you 13 years to get what we've got now. You know. I mean, Frontier Developments, given that Frontier Developments are in bed with Microsoft, they've got some pretty damn good fucking resources. They were able to go from concept to released game in a couple of years. And half of that time was spent development and alpha, beta, gamma testing. You know, it's more than half of that time, in fact. Because Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen were conceptualized around the same time. I remember the interview that Chris Roberts and David Braben did. And David Braben was really, really professional. And Chris Roberts was just laughing at the amount of money that people had poured into Star Citizen. He couldn't believe it. It was like an incredible amount of fucking cash. Like more than, what was it, about $7 or $8 million? And he was just laughing his head off, saying, yeah, ha ha ha, rubbing his fucking hands. And that was what put me off Star Citizen, to be honest. That fucking interview. And me and a friend of mine, Marcus, in Germany, he was going down the Star Citizen route. And I said, no, I'm going to stick with Elite Dangerous. You know, because Chris Roberts' response and especially his demeanour in that interview, I thought the guy's having a fucking laugh. You know, he's put this idea out there, people have paid into it, and he's just laughing and rubbing his fucking hands. So I've just had an error come up there on Star Citizen. It's crashed on me, so I'm going to have to quit. Although,